Hello and welcome to the Define Edge YouTube channel. It is a dead time of the year when people are looking for investments as their salary hike happens, bonus happens, and they tend to invest into the mutual funds. But when they are already holding the mutual funds and they want to compare the mutual fund, there are no major tools available. The common mistake which retail investors do is they'll compare 1 year return, 3 year return, 5 year return, and look into the investments. In this video, I am sharing one interesting tool which you should definitely use out. When it comes to buying the mobile, we look at n number of features, n number of processors, cameras, what or not. But when it comes to the investments, we depend on किसी ने बोल दिया ये mutual fund ले लो, and you just go and buy that mutual funds.
भाई ने बोला करने का तो करने का.
Just remember, in case you have one of the mutual funds which are already going on, probably the SIP may be 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and you are planning to top up, try to compare the mutual funds and look at the stock overlapping. So what does the stock overlapping means? Say you have HDFC Flexi Cap Fund, assuming, and you are planning to invest or someone says okay, go with the Parekh Parak Flexi Cap Fund if you are planning to buy new. But there may be a common stocks which both the mutual funds may having, say Axis Bank, Reliance, L&T, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, M&M, Maruti. Both the mutual funds, if they are holding the same number of stocks, or probably the percentage may differ. But if Axis Bank falls, your mutual fund performance will be downgraded. So always look these kind of overlapping stocks, which is very, very important when it comes to the investment. Let's look at these tools. And keeping in mind you already have HDFC Flexi Cap Fund and you are planning to add more, we'll look at what are the common stocks in these, and we'll look at one or two comparison as well. So what you have to do is go to the mutual fund mfzone.define securities, log in with your account, go to this tool. There is the last option, scheme portfolio overlap. If I just click on there, it will show you to compare the mutual funds. So maximum mutual fund you can compare is 4 over here. I'll just take up 2 over here and say HDFC Flexi Cap Fund. So basically, I guess you know Flexi Cap Fund is basically the fund manager has the cushion over here to manage the weights between large cap, mid cap, and small cap, or even micro cap. If I say okay, you have to invest Parak Parik, and if I just go into the Parak Parik Flexi Cap Fund over here, and if I just click onto the search, now you can see 17% of the portfolio is overlap, around 25 common stocks. Now these 25 common stocks are very, very high number. And if I just look at over here, if I just look at the HDFC Flexi Cap holds around 54 companies into their investment portfolio, and Parak Parik holds around 87. Out of that, 25 are common. You have every detail over here, AUM number, expense ratio. Again, mutual fund my expense ratio should be lower and all those stuff. So I'm not getting into these expense ratio over here. Axis Bank, which has around 8.86% in HDFC versus 3.2% in. So all these are common stocks. So around 63% weights holds in from the common stocks against the Parak Parik 46%. So you can keep a watch on these common stocks over here. Now, if I just look at over here, so Flexi Cap Fund, and if I want to look at into the say large and mid cap fund over here, okay, from the Flexi Cap Fund. So what I'll do is from Parak Parik, I'll look at the HDFC large and mid cap fund over here. And if I click onto the search, look at the number of stocks. 39 companies are common between HDFC large cap and mid cap and HDFC Flexi Cap Fund. Now both the fund manager are different. So when you are, someone says go with HDFC large and mid cap because उसमें risk कम है. Looking at the long term, mid small cap में risk ज़्यादा होता है, large and mid cap में risk कम होता है. But if you are already holding Flexi Cap Fund, you are managing that risk with 39 stocks over here. 14.6% overlapping of the stocks. Okay. Again, if I just look at 75% against 38%. If you are holding HDFC, neither you have to look at Parak Parik Flexi Cap Fund, neither you have to look at large and mid cap fund, because again, you can look at 39% common stocks. If they underperform, your mutual fund, both the mutual fund will underperform. So what you should do? Look at, if you are already having a Flexi Cap Fund, let's look at the high risk HDFC Small Cap Fund. So if I just go to HDFC Small Cap Fund and click onto the search, look at the common stocks over here. Okay. Only 6 common stocks, 4%. So these will help you to diversify your mutual fund portfolio. आपके पास already Flexi Cap Fund है, which is managing your risk. You have small cap where you can take slightly higher risk over here. Agar if you want to look at, if you already have small cap and you would want to look at another small cap fund. So if I just go instead of Flexi Cap Fund, I'll go with Nippon say small cap fund, and I compare with Nippon small cap and HDFC small cap fund. So if you are planning to look at invest into the small cap fund, you can either look at all the stocks, or probably say I can even compare SBI small cap fund. Let's look at three fund over here. When if you're planning, say I'm planning to invest into three, only six common stocks within these three. 228 stocks into the Nippon, 222 are uncommon, 85 total companies, 63. Between these three, only 1.6% overlap is there. And what are these stocks? Carbonadrum, CUB, GR Infra, Kalpataru, Krishna. Now you have an option to choose which is the best one. Now considering the AUM 58,000, 30,000, 31,000. Okay, Nippon over here holds the highest AUM with around 60,000, double of HDFC and SBI. So if in case you want to compare Apple with around 30,000, so and if I just move out of Nippon because बहुत सारे stocks है उसके अंदर, and if I just go on to the HDFC and SBI, around 8 common stocks, 5.4%. Even if we are looking at small cap investment high risk, you can look at these two because only 8 common stocks have 5% risk. Common percentage port overlapping it, which is again a good number. I want to increase into the small cap. I already have HDFC, or probably you have small cap fund, SBI fund. You can look at HDFC. ठीक है, तो वहां पर आपका रिस्क हायर है, बट अगेन द स्टॉक्स आर नॉट ओवरलैपिंग ओवर हियर, सो इट गिव्स यू एन एडवांटेज. अगर स्मॉल कैप में आपको लग रहा है कि 10 साल में बड़ा पैसा बन सकता है, एंड यू थिंक मार्केट्स में सी ए स्ट्रॉन्ग स्मॉल कैप, यू कैन लुक एंड एग्रेसिव ओवर हियर इनटू दी बोथ दी स्मॉल कैप फंड्स. So this is the one you can definitely compare using this tool of overlapping scheme, portfolio overlapping, and choose your investments, mutual fund investment wisely before investing, and compare all the mutual funds you already have against the planning if you are planning to add on the new one, or even you can look at the top ups into the existing one as well. So keep a watch or compare these schemes effectively before investing. Signing off, Prishesh Bhatt.